Welcome to Sandringham, a 20,000-acre world of quiet fields, soft morning light, and the kind of calm that feels far from crowns and ceremonies. This is where Kate Middleton finds balance, raising her children, shaping her family's rhythm, and living with a quiet strength that doesn't need attention to be seen. Here, the air is slower, the days more grounded, and every corner feels like a gentle escape from royal pressure. Today, we step inside that peaceful countryside life to see how this vast estate shapes her world behind the gates. The story of Catherine Elizabeth Middleton begins far from palaces and protocol. Born on January 9, 1982, in Reading, she entered a world shaped not by titles, but by discipline, warmth, and the ambition of a family building its own success. Her parents, Carol and Michael Middleton, created party pieces from their living room table, a small idea that grew into a multi-million-dollar business. In that steady household, Kate learned the values that would later define her public life: quiet effort, thoughtful leadership, and a grounded sense of who she was. When she was 2, the Middletons moved to Amman, Jordan, where her father's work with British Airways immersed the young family in life beyond the United Kingdom. The years were short, but they widened her world early. By the time they returned home, Kate carried with her a gentle openness that guided her through the next chapters of her life. Her schooling years strengthened the core of who she would become. At St. Andrews, Down House, and Marlborough College, she stood out not because she demanded attention, but because she earned it. Teachers called her focused, athletic, quietly competitive, someone who led with calm certainty. Her love for art, sports, photography, and structure revealed a young woman who balanced refinement with resilience, a balance that would later become her signature. Everything changed when she stepped into the stone archways of the University of St. Andrews in 2001. She arrived as a student of art history, unaware that her life was about to shift. In those mist-covered courtyards, she built friendships, routines, and the independence of early adulthood. It was here that her path crossed with a young man named William, a meeting that would shape more than her future. It would reshape the modern monarchy. But what followed was not an instant fairy tale. While she built a career at the fashion label Jigsaw and supported her family's business, the world watched her every move. Cameras followed her through London streets, headlines dissected her choices, and speculation filled every quiet space. In 2007, during a brief separation, she faced her most difficult test. Yet she carried herself with remarkable steadiness, turning heartbreak into inner strength. It was the moment the public realized she was not fragile. When she and William found their way back to each other, their reunion felt inevitable. Their engagement in 2010, marked by Princess Diana's iconic sapphire ring, became a global symbol of continuity and hope. And on April 29, 2011, at Westminster Abbey, Kate Middleton stepped into history, not as a figure of fairy tales, but as a woman ready for responsibility. What followed was a decade of purpose. Catherine, now Duchess of Cambridge, approached her role with patience and precision. Through early childhood initiatives, mental health advocacy, and hands-on community work, she built a portfolio defined not by glamour, but by empathy. Programs like Heads Together revealed her seriousness, her preparation, and her belief in long-term impact. She wasn't performing royalty. She was shaping its future. Motherhood deepened that mission. With the births of Prince George in 2013, Princess Charlotte in 2015, and Prince Louis in 2018, she introduced a new image of royal life: modern, warm, relatable, yet still dignified. Her style influenced global markets. Her presence shifted cultural conversations, and her private discipline anchored a public life watched by millions. Catherine's life feels like the natural result of every choice she made: steady steps, thoughtful pauses, and a strength shaped quietly over decades. From the classrooms of Berkshire to the global stage, She has walked forward with a calm confidence that never needed to be announced. Her journey is not a story of sudden transformation, but of continuous becoming. A woman who grew into her role with grace, discipline, and a deep sense of purpose. And now let us step into the Sandringham estate, the quiet, sprawling countryside home where Kate's life unfolds in peace, and the kind of stillness even royalty holds on to. Sandringham Estate, the quiet countryside. Haven that grounds royal life. Sandringham is one of those places that feels quiet the moment you arrive. No noise, no rush, just long roads lined with old trees, open fields stretching to the horizon, and a calm that settles over everything. This is where Kate Middleton and Prince William chose to build their family life, far from the formality of London and the weight of royal duty. The estate covers 20,000 acres in Norfolk, but the heart of it is surprisingly warm and simple. Sandringham House itself is a classic country home. Red brick, tall chimneys, and ivy climbing gently along the walls. Inside, the rooms feel lived in rather than royal. Soft colors, comfortable sofas, framed family photos, and sunlight pouring through tall windows. The drawing room is bright and airy, with cream furniture and floral patterns, a room meant for conversation and quiet evenings. The estate's gardens are one of its most beautiful features. King Charles personally redesigned sections of them, turning 60 acres into a greener, more natural landscape. Wide lawns, old oak trees, flower borders, and winding walking paths make the whole area feel like a private park. This is where Kate often walks with the children. George running ahead, Charlotte collecting flowers, and Louis exploring everything he sees. Around the house, life moves at a slower pace. There are stables, woodlands, lakes, and even a small church where the royal family attends Christmas service every year. Locals often say that Sandringham is the one royal home that truly feels like a real family house. Warm, peaceful, and deeply rooted in nature. For Kate, this estate is more than a royal residence. It is where she finds balance. Raising her children, tending to her work quietly, and living a life grounded in routine. Sandringham gives her what London cannot: privacy, stillness, and the freedom to live as close to normal as a future queen can. And from this peaceful countryside life, we return to the city, the place that anchors Kate in the heart of London. Let us step inside Kensington Palace, where her family moments and royal responsibilities unfold under one historic roof. Kensington Palace, the London home of the Duchess. Behind the high brick walls of Kensington Palace sits Apartment 1A, the London residence where Kate Middleton and Prince William balance royal duty with real family life. It is grand, historic, and carefully preserved, yet warm enough to feel like the home of a modern family. Step through the private entrance and the mood becomes clear. The living room carries the weight of tradition. Tall curtains, framed portraits, classic furniture, but it has been quietly refreshed by Kate's touch. The large octagonal ottoman has been recovered in bright floral fabric, red lampshades warm the light, and neutral sofas soften the atmosphere. It feels elegant but not untouchable, formal but still lived in. A place where state guests might sit in the afternoon and where the children may read on the sofa in the evening. The color palette is calm: creams, soft beige, warm wood floors. Every detail balances heritage and practicality. A gold-trimmed side table sits next to a deep sofa, a decorative vase beside children's books. Reminders that this home serves both a duchess and a mother. Walk into the entrance hall and the black and white tiled floor leads your eye upward to a sweeping staircase. Tall windows let in muted London daylight. The space feels ceremonial, yet human, a quiet intersection between public service and private moments. For Kate, Kensington Palace is far more than a royal residence. It is the quiet anchor of her London life. This is where family routines unfold behind closed doors, where she prepares for engagements, and where the smallest, most human moments happen away from the world's attention. A historic address, yes, but at its heart, it is simply the place she calls home. And now, let's take a look at the cars that have accompanied her life, from her humble beginnings to her most important royal moments. Car collection. The Audi A3 was one of the first cars that truly matched Kate Middleton's simple, practical life before royalty. It was small, clean, and easy to move through London. Perfect for the days she went to work at party pieces or visited friends around Chelsea. Nothing loud, nothing flashy. Just a reliable $35,000 car that reflected who she was back then. Independent, focused, and quietly confident. Later came the black Audi A4 Avant, the car that slowly carried her into a new chapter as her relationship with Prince William became more public. They were often spotted driving through the countryside, the engine running smoothly while the world outside became more chaotic. Inside, the leather seats and soft interior made every trip feel calm. Worth about $50,000, the A4 became a silent bridge between her private life and her growing royal responsibilities. And then there is the Jaguar XJL, long, elegant, unmistakably British. This is the car most people associate with Kate today. She uses it for official events, charity visits, and ceremonies where every detail matters. The deep black paint, the quiet power of the engine, and the smooth ride give it a dignified presence. Valued around $90,000, it is less about luxury and more about representing the role she now carries with grace. Each of these cars marks a different stage in her life. The simple beginnings, the transition into public duty, and the modern royal identity she holds today. Now, let us explore the wealth and lifestyle that continue to shape her journey as a princess in the modern world. Income and net worth. Kate Middleton's financial journey does not begin with glamour. It begins with stability. Her $50 million net worth is the result of years built on discipline, family support, and the structured world she stepped into when she joined the royal family. Nothing about her money story is loud. It grows quietly, through careful planning, long-term investments, and the steady responsibilities she carries as the future queen of the United Kingdom. Her earliest income was modest. Before royal life, Kate worked at Jigsaw, and later at her family's company Party Pieces. The paychecks were small, the kind that simply helped a young woman build independence. But those years shaped her understanding of work, effort, discipline, and showing up even when no one noticed. Everything changed when she joined the royal family. As a senior working royal, she receives funding from the Sovereign Grant and the Duchy of Cornwall. Not a salary in the usual sense, but structured financial support for her national duties. This covers official travel, staff, wardrobe for state engagements, and the day-to-day responsibilities expected from a future queen. Her role is full-time, and the financial system behind it ensures stability rather than luxury. The real foundation of her personal net worth comes from two quiet sources: family wealth and long-term investments. The Middleton family business, once valued at tens of millions of dollars, gave Kate access to trust funds and private assets that grew steadily over the years. These investments, stocks, property shares, and family savings, form a large part of her independent wealth today. Her marriage to Prince William also strengthened her financial security. William, whose personal net worth exceeds $100 million through inheritance and the Duchy of Cornwall, shares access to expansive resources, properties, estates, and long-term financial portfolios designed to support future monarchs. While none of this is spending money in the celebrity sense, it creates a lifestyle built on stability, heritage, and responsibility. Kate's public role adds a different kind of value, not through endorsements or advertising, but through visibility. Every appearance influences fashion markets. Every initiative strengthens her long-term legacy. It is influence transformed into cultural capital rather than personal income. In the end, Kate's financial story is one of steady growth, family stability, and thoughtful planning. Everything she has today comes from a life built slowly and quietly, with discipline, balance, and a clear sense of responsibility. From this steady financial base, we can now step into the part of her life where she gives the most: her philanthropy. Philanthropy, her strongest commitment, is to children's care. Through East Anglia's children's hospices, she has supported families facing terminal illness, helping raise more than $5 million over the years for new facilities, family rooms, and emotional support programs. Her second major focus is addiction recovery. Working closely with Action on Addiction, she has supported treatment centers and family programs across the United Kingdom. She helped strengthen Moving Parents and Children Together, a program that guides families affected by addiction. Her work has helped fund hundreds of therapy sessions and support groups, giving parents a chance to rebuild their lives with dignity. Mental health is where her impact reaches the widest. In 2016, she joined William and Harry to launch Heads Together, a campaign that shifted the way millions of people talk about mental health. The movement raised more than $12 million for counseling services, helplines, and community support networks. Kate later expanded that mission with Mentally Healthy Schools, providing free mental health resources to thousands of teachers and more than 5,000 schools. The program gives students a place to understand their emotions, ask for help, and grow into healthier adults. She also supports nature-focused projects. Backyard Nature, which she helped highlight in 2019, encourages families, especially those in crowded cities, to reconnect with the outdoors. Hundreds of small community gardens and schoolyard green spaces have grown from this work. Through every project, Kate's approach stays the same: gentle, sincere, and deeply human. And from those efforts, we begin to see a quieter side of Kate. The simple daily life she shares with her family behind palace walls. Personal life. These days, Kate Middleton lives a life built around calm routines, family moments, and steady recovery. After publicly sharing her cancer diagnosis in early 2024, and later announcing her remission in 2025, she has focused on creating a peaceful, predictable rhythm at home, something she can control while her health continues to strengthen. Most of her days begin quietly at Windsor. She spends her mornings helping Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis get ready for school. Even when she avoids public duties, she remains deeply involved in their daily lives, checking homework, reading with them, and guiding their after-school routines. Friends close to the family say this has become her happiest part of the day. Simple moments that feel normal, grounding, and far from royal formality. Kate has also built a tighter circle around herself. She stays closely connected with her sister, Pippa, who often visits Windsor to help with the children or simply keep Kate company during recovery days. Her parents visit frequently as well, keeping her surrounded by familiar warmth and steady support. A few longtime friends, people she has trusted since school, remain her private confidants, visiting quietly, away from cameras. Health and balance shape much of her schedule now. Instead of crowded events, she focuses on calm routines at home, long walks around the Windsor grounds, light stretching recommended by her medical team, and time spent in the garden, which has become one of her most peaceful spaces. She also continues planning future charity work from behind the scenes, reviewing documents, meeting advisors privately, and preparing slowly for her eventual return to public life. Her recent trips have stayed close to home. Short stays at Sandringham with her family, quiet weekends in Norfolk to rest, and time spent outdoors with her children. These low-key trips help her heal both physically and emotionally, giving her space away from the public gaze. Today, Kate's life is not defined by royal events or public pressure. It is defined by gentle routines, by the people she trusts, and by a slow, steady rebuilding of her strength. The world sees her as a royal figure, but at home, She is simply a mother creating a calm environment for her children, and a woman choosing quiet moments over noise, healing at her own pace. If Kate's story has made you curious about the quiet life behind the royal walls, follow us. Each video takes you deeper into the homes, choices, and everyday moments of people the world rarely gets to see. See you in the next video.